Ibiza.
Hey Patrick, how are you? Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear?
Malawi and boy.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have been so busy these past days. To be honest with you, I really didn't see a point of doing streams while there's no football. That's number one. Number two, I didn't see the point of doing streams and repeating the same stories and lying to people about transfers and trying to lie to people about stories. We're also going to talk about that on today's topic, holding certain big accounts accountable, holding certain channels accountable, people who lie to us all the time. Because I also watch a lot of shows, and some of you just lie for the sake of it. And it's sometimes becoming annoying because when you lie, instead of apologizing, you don't apologize. You lie to us. Oh, this deal is done. It's confirmed. Like some of us, when we say a deal is done, some of you come after us in the DMs, and we will tell you that, look, I'm sticking to my guns and it's working. But some of you get away with murder. And then the topics today is the Community Shield. We're going to talk about the Community Shield that was played yesterday. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch anything at all. I want to watch the goal by Cole Palmer. What an amazing goal. So I didn't see anything at all. And we're just going to talk about it and see what the guys think about it. We're also going to talk about Josko, who has signed for Man City. He's officially a Man City player. I tweeted 2 weeks ago. I said it was done after somebody told me. And yes, I was attacked. But guess who was right? So you can sit on that one. Hold that L. We're going to talk about Jack Grealish's fan boys versus football purists or football fans, real football fans. We're also going to talk about Haaland, who's been slandered by clowns from Arsenal who haven't learned a lesson. Liverpool fans did it when Haaland did not score in the Community Shield. But the clowns from Arsenal, we're going to talk about them. This fan base is full of clowns. I've never seen a fan base is full of foolishness and deluded clowns. We're going to talk about Cole Palmer, and we're going to talk about Bernardo Silva, and we're going to talk about Walker, and then we're going to get into transfers, ask the panel where they think City can improve. So you see, I am back, but I have structure now. Before I was just freestyling. Now you're going to be in trouble. If I do this seriously, some of you, your subscribers, will leave you. So I always forgive you. So anyway, let me welcome Pitch Points and Veda Games. My guys, how have you been? Veda Games has still been on the hustle throughout. I've seen that. Veda Games, welcome, man. Guys, subscribe to Veda Games. Very good channel. The guy is very consistent. He never misses, makes very good shows. So, Veda, introduce yourself to the people and let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, man. It's been a while, but you got some great topics today, so I had to make sure that I joined. Nah, it's easy, man. You can find me on Twitter. Obviously, it's Vader Games. Just search that up. My follows appreciated. And on YouTube, it's Vader Games TV. I got 2 shows with fantastic panels that are able to join you, and Pitch Points being 2 of the greats that are able to join. So why always me? And on Sundays, we're going to confirm the time, but on Sundays we got CIA, and I'm hoping to get that popping again this season. So yeah, you can find me on YouTube, man. But I'm looking forward to getting into these topics. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good, man. Good to have you. Colin, good to see you too. Oh, by the way, I shamelessly tweeted weeks ago. Big up to you, Tapiwa. Big up to Super Silver. I don't know if that's the name. And a few people who joined the membership. I'm sorry, yes, the membership has been quiet, but it's because I wasn't streaming. But guys, big up to you. 4 people joined the membership for 99 cents. And I was shameless to tell you that the membership is going straight to me buying a new mic and a new camera. So it's not for anything else. It's for me being shameless. I'm not going to take food out of my table to buy a new camera and a new mic. So you guys can pay for it. And thank you very much for all those subscribed. 99 cents. Let's get it. What about yourself, Pitch Points, man? How you feeling? How have you been? I see you're keeping very busy on Twitter fighting for your life.
Nah, I'm just silencing the hypocrites, man. That's all I'm doing. Just asking questions. That's all, mate. That's all we're here to do is ask the tough questions. I'm looking for answers. I'm not hating. I don't hate anyone. I don't know them. They didn't come after my wife or come after my girlfriend. I'm just asking questions to understand. Because I'm seeing some things, Patrick, and I'm ahead of the game. People are still back in the dinosaur age, thinking about what they can do. I'm looking at
still hunting some T-Rex.
And what Arsenal did yesterday.
How are you guys doing on this lovely day?
Yeah,
well, good, man. Oh, what a miracle! You've got a great mic, you fraud.
Yeah, I'm just thinking ahead about what teams will do as a coach. What I'm going to do to nullify City. What I've seen from Inter Milan and from Arsenal yesterday is a reason why certain players are struggling in wide areas. And I'll tell you why and what we need to do. So we'll talk about that some more. No hate, just facts.
Okay. Also big up also and welcome to one of my close friends, Adam. He's got a new mic, so now we can hear him loud and clear.
I'll show you. Wait 1 second. It's a small thing.
Yeah. That's a good mic. That's a good mic.
It's clear, but I don't know if you guys will hear the background noise.
Why are you breaking?
Yeah, no, it's fine. The only bad thing about this guy is I haven't paid him his check yet. So members start subscribing. I need to pay this guy for his internet. So guys, okay, let's start with the Community Shield. I'm gonna pass the mic to you, Veta. Veta, first of all, I didn't watch this. I was at work. I was very busy, so I didn't watch this Charity Shield. I didn't have care. You know me, Veta, I never missed the games. If I had care, I could have asked for time off, but I didn't bother to ask for time off. It's a Community Shield. Thing is, I want us to talk about the Community Shield, but I also want to bring a lot of things in general. The FA Cup final, I didn't speak much. I was just quiet because we were getting into a treble. I didn't want to start bringing some negativity or some words into it. I watched the Champions League. I have been noticing few things, which also I said before the Community Shield. Even I was at work. I just said, guys, I said in a Twitter group where people did not agree with me. Then I said in our group, some people read it. I said, City need a winger, right? Who, when things are difficult or it's a tight game, he has to say, give me the ball, I'll dribble into the box, I'll give it to Haaland and he will score, or I'll dribble into the box, create chaos and score. Now, as bad as my brother, Riyad Jeremiah Mahrez, was hated by a lot of people, saying he passes backwards, he doesn't track back, or he's lazy. Mahrez was that surprise. That's the reason why we bought him. Mahrez was a guy who would take the ball sometimes, proper nice touch. Nobody has that beautiful touch. He would dribble into the box, unpredictable, and score. We saw him many times. PSG, he scored from a difficult angle. Now, if I look at this in this team called Man City right now, I look at the FA Cup. I'm looking at a few matches that were very tight in the last games. I'm looking at the UCL final. We don't have a winger who is unpredictable. And I'm being honest. We don't have a winger. Maybe it's Pep's system. So you guys were a panel here. Some of you educate me. I just think that's also lacking. The thing is, it's Haaland or bust. And when Haaland sucks, it takes people like Rodri or people who are from the midfield to try score something. But it would never work like that. That's why we ended up with draws. I just feel like we need somebody who's very unpredictable. Give me the ball, or somebody who lives in the box very good as a winger. Because I'm sorry, I know Haaland is a beast, but come on. The two wingers, Foden, whether it's Foden or Grealish, come on. Don't end up with 5 goals at the end of the season. I'm sorry. And 2 assists. And people are like, oh, it's because he holds the ball and creates chances. Oh, he draws fouls. He does this. I'm sorry. I don't hate Jack. Let me just be honest. But I watch football. No, I'm being honest. I watch football. You will not lie to me. Somebody wrote a whole speech on Twitter. Do you know what my uncle used to say? When somebody makes an excuse for somebody and creates a new position in a job, just know there's a lie. They're trying to hide somebody. At work, you get reviewed, as Don't Smoke said. We're talking about Phillips. You get reviewed. If your review sucks, you're gone. Jack Grealish is not a goal threat. I'm sorry, he's not. He seems to be allergic to going in the box and trying to shoot. He only shoots once in a while when the media goes after his back. Another thing, people are going after me and Carl saying we're plastics for going after Jack, saying he has to be a threat. Also, Foden has to be a threat because Foden, I've been watching you, Foden, my brother. You miss easy chances in the box. I'm not talking about Jack only. I'm just saying our wingers are not a threat. They're not. I don't think anybody is scared of City wingers. We can just depend on. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to pass it to you guys. Why I was bringing this background is this is not about the Community Shield, because people think we're questioning Foden and our wingers and Jack because of the Community Shield. No, it's because we watched the FA Cup final, which it took other people to carry us, and the wingers are just blunt. They were missing easy chances. Foden UCL went through on goal, missed. Charity Shield, missed. So here it is better. How did you see the Community Shield? Do you agree with me that maybe City need a winger who's just different from the ones we have?
So, first question, yes, I watched the Community Shield. The game took place for 11 a.m. my time. So, sat down with the kids and watched it. I was the only one that watched the entire game. The kids ended up getting up and doing some things. But no, I watched the game. It was must. I mean, I just wanted to see what that 11 ended up doing, because when I noticed Kovacic and Alvarez, I'm brainstorming, but I'm thinking that it was going to be the 3 in the midfield with including Rodri. I want to see how that dynamic was going to work. Now, with regards to getting a different winger, I do agree. I think you never necessarily want to sub a player on and a player off that have the same skill sets or attributes, right? You want them to obviously bring something a little different, or else why would you sub the player? But I do think that, can we have a chaos creating winger? I don't think that's ever Pep's style. I think Pep would want a player to at least be able to beat his man. I think he wants a wing play that's going to be creative and dangerous, because you're going to want either 1 or 2 defenders to respect that wing play so much that it's going to draw attention. That, to your point, being able to free up Haaland or free up maybe the opposite side wingman or player on the opposite side to be able to get into the box. But yeah, a lot of things that you say I completely agree with. The only thing where I'm still a little calm and maybe not the demand for we need more from Jack after this Community Shield game. I will share your voices. I will share the
Oh,
volume.
not after this. I'm talking about all our wingers that we need more from them. Watching them from the FA Cup final, UCL final, and these games. Not even the Community Shield. The games, the last games. That it's just that. It looks like it's Haaland or bust. And at the end of the day, I get it. Okay, Haaland is the guy you have to feed. But come on, our wingers cannot be ending the season on 5 assists and 3 goals.
I hear that. But okay. Let me say this. From last season, FA Cup and Champions League, I'm a full reset. For me, nothing carries over for what Pep asked those guys to do or the form that they were in. I'm still looking at them through the same lens this season. So I watched that Community Shield. It was what it was. Where I'm going to be very judgmental will be that Burnley game to see how they play and what it means, because that's when the season starts. Like, it was a curtain raiser. It was a glorified, to your point, it was a charity shield. Like, I'm not going to put too much stake in it, but I think we do need a player that's going to be more aggressive, that needs to be more aggressive than what we've seen from Jack for the majority of last season, because he doesn't do it enough. So I need to see that change from him, and if we don't see that change from him, yeah, we need another player.
No, he's
You
allowed.
know, it's like what Patrick said. Yeah, pretty much all of them have to pull their weight. It's like what I've realized is that when KDB is not on there, we somewhat lose the creativity. Like, there's not that much of creativity there. But every single person of them needs to pull their weight. Grealish needs to pull his weight. Yeah, whoever plays on the wing needs to pull their weight. Whether it's Bernardo Silva, yeah, or
Patrick.
whether it's yeah.
I mean,
Patrick, how are you, Patrick?
No, don't smoke. Go ahead.
I'm good, don't
Yeah,
smoke, man. How you doing? I'm good.
I think our problem starts deep, right? The problem starts with the build-up. If you notice, the FA Cup, I think a part of that Madrid game, United and Inter pressed us, and now, sadly, we had 3 of our worst on the ball defenders at the back. The issue with Walker and Akanji on the opposite flanks is they are too slow to move the ball. They require at least 2 touches, right? So when we get pressed high, that's why I'm so happy for Virgil coming, right? And that's one of the issues of having a right-footed player on the left-hand side of your build-up, is in the fact that he has to move the ball to the opposite foot in order to do anything. And then, so what happens is our wingers, if essentially have to drop deep on the halfway line to assist the build-up, right? Normally, and this is the difference you're going to see when we used to have Stones and Laporte in our build-up play, and Edison. And this is, whoever criticizes Edison, this, if you watch that game, you will see the importance of him.
Thank you.
Right, because then now, normally Edison becomes our center back, and he's quick on the ball. Ortega was slow. Yes, if you're honest, Ortega was slow to move the ball, which then helps Arsenal's press. So then now we can't get the ball out of our backline very quick. And if you know, one of our attributes of a Pep team is a quick build-up, right? Guys, let's be honest. They kept us in our half for too long, right? And we didn't have that release ball whereby normally Ortega will ping the ball. If you watch the games that we beat Arsenal, in the cup and in the league, there was that out ball whereby Edison or Ortega would look for Haaland, bypass everyone, and then we go on the break. Whereby this time we just couldn't beat the press easily.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, Smoke, Smoke is 100% correct. And my tweet before the game, and again, it's a meaningless game. It's a meaningless game. Let's be clear, okay? It's absolutely means naffle, right? If City go to win the let me finish, Adam. Okay, if City go to win the Premier League, Champions League again, Arsenal will only win the Carabao, the Community Shield. I dare of their fans come and talk. It's meaningless. Okay. Now, but to Don Smoke's point, right? And I tweeted earlier on before the game started that my biggest worry was the goalkeeper. Because what Arsenal like to do is play man-to-man. When you play man-to-man, they like to press up high. What you have to do is ping the ball for left, middle, and center so that the likes of Erling Haaland, and supposed to be Jack Grealish, and Bernardo Silva out wide, or whoever's out wide, can carry the ball and link on, and you have that ability to go over the top. In the 2 games we played against them last season, the 2 Premier League games, that's what we did. Remember the De Bruyne goal at the Emirates? The one that went in behind, and then Tommy Yasu made a mistake, right?
Yeah,
Guess where the ball came from? Ederson.
Yeah.
Remember the ball from Stones to Erling Haaland, and then De Bruyne scores the goal at the Etihad. Ball came from behind. So that's one point. But to this point about Jack Grealish, again, for those who are out there, and I see a lot of hate and a lot of stuff going on, I don't hate Jack Grealish. I don't. But if you're going to play as a winger for City, right? As a winger for us, and you don't make one final third entry in 60 minutes against an Arsenal team who are not as good as you, you ain't good enough to play that left side, my guy. You're not. It's you either have to improve your level or you have to find somebody else to play that role. It's no surprise that when Foden comes on and takes up that left-sided role and Palmer comes on, the game tempo changes with De Bruyne coming on as well, because now we're in rhythm. We're moving the ball left, right, and switch. It's quicker. We're penetrating left, right, and center. Why? Why can't he do that as well? How do you get 5 goals in 28 games in a season as a left-sided winger when Riyad Mahrez, who came from the bench, has more goals than you? Now, the fact that he's your English boy, I get it. I understand that. And you have to defend your guy, right? What about Riyad?
Riyad was told as Riyad Mahrez. Go ahead.
Wait, Patrick. I think to Gundo's points, I think it's a culture thing. One thing I've learned about England, right? They appreciate hard work, even if it doesn't equate to anything, right? Look at your traditional English midfielders, was strong box to box, push up and whatnot. Whereby these guys don't.
I saw an appreciation tweet for taking right because he ran after.
Whereby, whereby Foden is not a traditional English midfielder, right? If you look at the way he plays, he's not a traditional English midfielder, and that's why he's different. Whereas these guys want that hardworking guy who's there, play for the badge, die on the pitch, even though it doesn't equate to anything. Whereby people have to come, they have to come up with the times and understand that you are not that small team that you once knew, right? And that's the thing with success. As you become more successful, the standard increases. And yes, you can work as hard as you want, but if you don't cut it, you don't cut it. At the end of the day, man, it's a cutthroat world. Because when you're negotiating for your contract, you don't go there with a smile. You want the best deal possible for yourself, and so should us, the fans. We should want the best for our money, because it's not free. People pay. We pay to watch these games. People pay to go to the stadiums. So we should also expect that same kind of quality on the pitch. And don't tell me he's working hard and what. No.
Apparently it draws fouls, so it's fine.
Tactically, let's explain tactically how teams are now changing and adapting. What you will see this season, which is why, I'm so focused on this issue, Vader, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Inter and Arsenal did yesterday was very simple. They said, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pack the central areas because we know that's where your creativity is best. That's where you basically can penetrate through us to get the goal, because you have the likes of De Bruyne, you have the likes of Rodri, who scored the goal in the final. You have Erling Haaland, who is a threat through the middle, right? Mm. We're going to let your wingers do what they need to. Stay high and wide all you want, because you have creativity. Okay? So we're going to allow your wingers be free. Without Grealish and Bernardo, okay, let them be free. Let them do what they have to do. Once the ball goes out wide, we're going to double up on them, because we know what they're going to do. They're going to bring the ball back into the middle of the park, and we're going to run back to block the middle, which means you're going to be frustrated. Now, where that changes, Patrick and Vader, is where Cole Palmer comes into play. Because Palmer is more direct and is able and is fearless and brave and courageous, right? Once he gets that 1 or 2 inch, he takes that shot into the goal because Arsenal left him 1v1 because they didn't expect him to do that. Are you following me?
Yeah,
Right? They know that Grealish ain't going to do shit on the left-hand side. They know he's going to pass the ball back to Rodri to score a goal. He won't take the responsibility to drive into the box or take that shot outside the box because he doesn't score goals outside the box. But they didn't account for the likes of Palmer, who is brave and young enough to take your man on and give that curler into the box because he's brave. Teams will set up this way against us. The goal that we score in the UCL final comes from who? Bernardo Silva, who's played out wide. Because he takes his man on, drops it back, and then Rodri is there to finish up. What did Jack do? Taken off the field. I'm not saying the guy is not good. Don't get me wrong. That's not my argument. My argument is, oh boy, you need to start producing numbers in the final third. Because if Erling Haaland has a bad day, or De Bruyne is not on the field, if you're playing number 10 and you're 100 million pounds, you need to deliver. It can't just be fouls and a free kick or get the ball and recycle it. You got to deliver the goals, my guy. Or else, if we're okay with him being an average guy, then let's kill that argument. Let's kill that argument. But I'll tell you this, Martinelli, I'm taking him every single day over Grealish with his directness. Phil Foden, every single day over him. Mitoma, every single day. Unpredictable, dribbler in the box. Nobody's afraid of Grealish.
You know, Gundo, the reason why we smashed United 6 the other day is because we had a mix of both. You have Foden who's willing to go direct, and you have Grealish who's willing to do his thing, whatever he does. And the thing is, you can't have both at the same time when there's no outlets in the teams. Will be okay. They were happy because we had unnecessary possession, which won't hurt anyone, right? So at the end of that, I think anyone who comes and tells me that
can't get past Ben White, who's a centre back playing right back. Come on, man. We saw what Brighton did to this guy now. We saw what Mitoma did to this guy, killed him. He destroyed him. You can't get past Ben White. Ben White.
And Gundo, no one can come here and tell me that Pep tells Grealish not to take his men on. You can't tell me a guy who coached Henry, he coached Messi, David Villa, Pedro at his peak will tell you, no, don't you use your magic because I'm scared of you to lose the ball when I've put four centre backs. When I've put 4 centre backs, you must understand that Pep didn't put 4 centre backs, so he'll be scared to lose the ball up top.
You know what? I think it's clear. Like I think everyone here, and I'd be surprised if even those that are defending Jack think that he doesn't need to be more aggressive, because the shot that Palmer was able to take and got the goal from, the first time he took that shot, he went short side because it ended up getting blocked, and then the second time he obviously had the keeper guessing, and he put in a brilliant placed goal. So we've all raised our hands and said Jack needs to do more of that. 100% he needs to do more of that. And I think there's also the playing off the ball that we want to see more of. I wish it was top of mind, but when I think it might have been Akanji who was on that left-hand side, and he ended up going very deep, attacking, and rather than Jack kind of skirting into the box and maybe making himself an option, he was falling back almost as to cover Akanji. So I think I agree. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be more direct. Does he need to be a maverick and do it before the rest of the teams there? Of course not. I don't think Pep would ever want any of the players to be taking on 1 or 2 before the team's there, or before he would even have a play maybe to make to Haaland. But his aggressiveness does need to increase. And I said this from the very beginning. I need to see that in Burnley. I'm not too, again, from last year, I'm not too hung up on last year. Sorry?
You know what?
Burnley,
No,
man.
let me, Carl, let me go to somebody neutral. Abdullahi, welcome.
No, but
Maybe-
sorry, Patrick. I was just also
Go
going to say this because
Yeah.
there's also, as we observe and see the differences, Arsenal and Brighton, the way they defended against Brighton was nowhere near what Arteta's now learned and how he defended against City yesterday, or yesterday. No, yeah, it was yesterday. So that is something to kind of keep in mind because they made sure that they were all behind the ball. And what I do want to see from Jack is get into threatening positions before you decide, oh, I'm being defended by two, to pass the ball away. Make them have to commit to a certain degree before you pass the ball off. That's where I am very critical of them. Sorry, Patrick.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Let's finish your point. So, what about yourself, Abdullahi? We're talking about Jack. There's a debate on Twitter. People are fighting. There's other people who are like football purists who watch football for the sake of football, who are not tribalists, who don't back somebody because he's got good hair and good calves. So, what we're saying here is we love the guy. He plays good football, but he's not a threat. And we're also talking about the wingers, Man City wingers. We're talking about Foden, who also is not a threat in the wing sometimes. He misses a lot. Yes, he can dribble, go past his man, but he's not a threat. So we're saying maybe City need a winger who's unpredictable. Like as bad as Riyad Mahrez was, as the people claimed he was bad, he could create goals from nowhere. Sometimes he could take the ball and just dribble and score. All we're saying is Haaland cannot be it all and end it all and everything is on Haaland. If Haaland has a stinker, why can our wingers not contribute? At the end of the season, some of our wingers ended up with 5 goals and 3 assists. And Haaland had more assists and more goals than them. So are you telling me that throughout our system, we should just depend on Haaland? What about the wingers? Come on, the wingers should step up. So we're asking, should players like Jack, Foden, and all these wingers we have be more aggressive instead of just drawing fouls and putting their socks down to their knees and showing off their calves?
I think it's 3 things for me. Shout out to everybody. Mr. Cow and Jack Grealish, they want to finish Mr. Cow. I understand Mr. Cow's frustration.
Yeah, he's fighting for his life on Twitter, this man.
I think Jack Grealish is like Messi Mount in Chelsea. Because if you criticize him, there's going to be a problem. I've been criticizing Mount since 3 years ago. And I've been praying to God for him to get the heck out of my club. And finally, after 3 years, God answered my prayer.
He's at United, United.
So, same thing with Jack. So I think because I watched the communication yesterday, and my problem with Jack is one is Pep, because I know the way Pep wants to play, and the problem now is if you guys gonna go into the market and buy a left winger, you gotta buy someone that is very direct, that is very unpredictable, like Mitoma. And I will say it again, I wouldn't advise you guys to have a conversation with Brighton. Brighton's already quoted 150 million for Mitoma. That's
they put what?
150 for Mitoma. Brighton has
wow.
We have been with
Abdullahi, don't come here with your Chelsea tendencies, man.
See, Brighton is one of the most difficult things to even negotiate with when it comes to players. So it's gonna be a problem. I'm looking at Rafael Leao, it's not gonna come. That's a no.
Yeah, he extended his contract, 7 years now.
In my head, the best left winger in my head right now, I can't even think of any other person in my head. Right now.
There's none.
So that's what the problem is. Maybe Pep needs to do something in terms of play Alvarez on the left wing and play more of Phil Foden, because Phil Foden is a baller. I need to see more of Foden. I need him to take the Riyad Mahrez spot because that guy can create from anywhere. But I have a problem. I have a problem with Pep. I'm not having a problem with the players because I already tell you, I didn't exactly what the manager wants. I'm having a problem with Pep because it depends on what Pep is telling them to do on the pitch. Are you going to keep on to the hold up the ball for like 90 minutes? Are you going to penetrate? Or are you going to cause opposition problem? That's on Pep. That's not on the players. Players can go on the pitch and can be a difference maker 1 or 2 matches. But what does Pep tell them? It depends on Pep, because if you're going to take Jack Grealish to draw foul, that's going to be a problem. You can't have 10 goals in 2 years. It doesn't make any sense. We have been suffering with Kaya about 19.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And you know what, Abdullah, we did not pay Abdullahi. He also has got his own channel. He came here, so thinking we paid. No, guys. This is what I'm saying. When you are talking football, don't have eyes like I'm from Malawi, Africa, and Riyad Mahrez and Salah. These are the players we appreciate. Drogba, but Drogba, if he drops stinkers, I used to say Drogba, you're not doing well. But people have got these glasses where they are blinded just because the player is from there. But isn't Jack Grealish also Irish? Wasn't he playing for Ireland at the youth? He was actually. Anyway, so let me just read this. Palmer is a generational talent. Palmer is very well. Melina, how you doing, man? Congrats on winning your plate. Yeah.
I think the problem is you need to go to the market and do two things for me: a right winger and a left winger is needed. And
I think so, Abdullah. I think what we saw from the Community Shield was Pep was trying different things. Right? We saw him bring on Foden to play the left side. When Palmer came on, guess who moved central? Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
And when Bernardo moved central, we had the rhythm. The rhythm was quicker, sharper. Our play was much better. Grealish came off. Foden went left. He was drifting left central. It was so good on the ball.
Yeah.
And then Kevin comes on and Kevin does Kevin things. I mean, Kevin spends 10 minutes, he gets an assist, right? That's when they asked him about Arsenal, he said he's not worried about Arsenal because there are 8 other teams who are there. He knows what he's talking about.
So do you think it's just wingers, or do you agree with me, Carl, when I say that maybe this team, and I've been saying it for a while and people have told me to shush, it's either Foden becomes a midfielder or Jack, as people want him to be in the middle. But I just feel like when De Bruyne is not there, even the time when Gundogan was here, Gundogan to create, but he has a limit.
Yeah, but
when De Bruyne is, let me just finish this. When De Bruyne is not there, we seem like creativity goes down the window.
No. Actually, Patrick. Think about the final of the Champions League, right? De Bruyne goes off, Pep summons Foden, and Foden almost gets a goal, and then we score a goal to win the final.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Foden is close.
Yeah. So for me, if you ask me my opinion right now, okay. How do we play, right? The 2 number 10s for me have to be Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne because they are 2 number 10s who can create. And then behind them, you have the Rodri or Vardio, Rodri and Stones, right? In that 6-6. So 6-6, 10. For me, Palmer, you need to give Palmer more game time to get him more comfortable because you don't score that kind of goal against Arsenal if you don't have that in your locker. Not only did he score a goal, but his movement.
Multiple times. He's shot from outside, remember?
Right.
All his goals are from outside.
Right, but his movement, and people talk about Olise. Well, Olise is not marginally better than this guy. Olise has more game time, more experience. So why go and spend 60 million on Olise when you can take a Palmer and develop him? My issue is that can we replicate that kind of directness on the left side with a £100 million player who doesn't want to just check back and bring the ball in? That's the problem I have.
We can't. To be honest, I was actually shocked when I saw Haaland and Alvarez. I was expecting Foden to play that number 10 role instead of Alvarez. It's more like we left Alvarez out to dry, right? Because if I can assure you now, if Foden played, man, there was a turn which he done, man. Which he received the ball, I think he turned and then
he turned party.
Man, the thing is, when you play, when the opposition plays a man-to-man system against you, you need people who can beat a man. That's how you get the superior, the advantage over the other team.
Exactly.
You can't have people.
Foden did that
who
same
pass
turn in the
sideways.
Champions League. Yeah,
That's I just want Don't Smoke is teaching us right now the basics of football. There are 2 kinds of superiority, right? Numerical and qualitative. Which means that we can dominate you by overloading you on one side with more numbers, or when it's 1-to-1, we can actually beat you players who can beat you 1-on-1. So what he's talking about here is the essentials of positional play. 2 types of superiority: positional or numerical. Facts. I like this.
Yeah. It's a great point. And it builds off of what happened in the Champions League, because if you go back and you just want to see the numbers that Inter had in that box versus what we had, I believe it was 9-6. They had 9 players trying to defend our 6, which ended up being the goal. So, no, it's a great point, and it's where we do want more quality and more directness from Jack with regards to what he does on the side.
Veta, and that's one thing which made that Barca team under Pep the greatest, is because they could keep the ball, and when needed, they had guys like Iniesta, Messi can take 2-3 people on his own. Iniesta can do the same. You have David Villa on this side. You have Alves. So basically, they could do whatever they wanted to do to you. You can't mark them man to man, and you can't park the bus because they will open you. So you can't tell me that no, Pep tells Grealish keep the ball, man. That's nonsense, man. When a guy coaches a team like that and he builds it up, You can't tell me he's there happy, like, oh, look at my winger that I got. Every time he gets the ball, instead of attacking his man, he just passes it back to center back, man. That's nonsense, man.
Yeah, so do you want us to move away from Jack? Let's move away from Jack. Let's go over to this. So we've got our defender. Josko Vadio is finally signed for City. Apologies to Chelsea. They tried to bid years ago and they failed. So, Mr. Chelsea rep, what do you think of this signing, man? Do you think this signing makes City more dangerous? And do you rate this player?
Yep, I do. Highly, yes. Because people might say the World Cup where Messi turned Josko Vadio to pop off, it's normal. It's Lionel Messi, so it's normal. He's Messi.
And when City dunked on him, when Haaland dunked on him with 5,
he's Messi. So I love what City is doing right now because Vadio is very, very highly rated, and I rate Josko Vadio very highly. So I'm happy you guys go Vadio because in market right now, the amount of how much money players are going for right now, I'm like, oh, the market is very, very crazy. And getting a player like him is very, very good because now 5 years, 5, 6 years on a consistent level can give you that. So you have more rotation. Stones, Walker can rotate. If Laporte wants to go, you can bounce. So you have a replacement for Vadio, which is not bad because a player like him can always like play. He can even play him as a left back sometimes if you need him to play as left back because he can play different positions.
He was playing left back for Leipzig and Croatia.
Yeah, I think he's playing as a centre back for Leipzig, not left back.
No, I'm saying sometimes for Leipzig he plays as left back, but for Croatia,
so yeah, he's very. And you guys have a lot of centre back: Ake, Akanji, Stones, Walker, Bunking, Josko Vadio. Now it's not that bad. So I'm happy you guys are getting in ahead of other rivals. I'm happy. And that depends on how Pep wants to play. Does he play 3-box-3? Because yesterday they played like a 4-2-3-1. I'm like, okay, Pep is playing a 4-2-3-1. Interesting. I've not seen Pep do this before. It's been long. Interesting. He's trying new things. Okay. All right, Mr. Pep. Okay. So it now depends on does he play 4-3-3 or does he play a back 4 or the 4-4-2? That depends on how he plays. But I expect him to have a phenomenal season in Manchester City. I expect him to have that. So it's like,
yeah, he's amazing, man. Like the guy is a tank and the guy is fast, and the way he carries the ball into midfield, and he can actually pass. Like he can pass like he's a midfielder. So what about Veta, man? Were you excited when we finally got our man, this handsome 6 foot plus man?
You know what? When it was official, it was great news. But I think once I saw you put the word out that he was coming, you and Gundalorian said, "Man's pretty much sealed up." I was happy for it. The versatility that he brings is incredible, absolutely incredible. I know that we kind of, whether it was in the group chat, even just talked about what it would mean for the team, and I think the same what Pep was able to get out of Stones. The fact that Stones, he's played right back, he's played right center back, he's played in that double pivot being inverted. I think we can expect that same type of trial runs, tested runs of him in year one. I think Pep might have him play all those 3 positions, and then now we have the ability to do the same thing on the right-hand side of the pitch on the left-hand side, and maybe he makes his choice based off of the opponents that we face and the pressure points that he wants to apply based off of our opponents. I love the signing. I'm excited for him. The first game that he plays, I think there's going to be a lot of excitement to see what he does. And in terms of like long term, like looking at the future, what is he? 21 years old?
Yeah, 21. Just 21.
21. Like it's phenomenal, man. Amazing business again. Amazing business.
You know the funny thing about this guy? We're having a debate yesterday on, I believe it was either Space or Twitter, right? Talking about this Gvardy, what he can play, and somebody's arguing that, well, he's the replacement for Ake, and I disagree. I think that the way Stones plays the 4 and the 6 and the 4 and the 6 from center back positions, the same way Guardiola is going to play, right? A 5 and a 6, a 5 and a 6 from the left side.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Which means that Ake
he'll be able to tuck in, isn't it?
Stones can't play all the games, 65 games in a year. We're going to play a 3-box-3 system where we have this false center back, false CDM. Stones can't do all the games. There's a reason why Stones came off in 60 minutes in UCL finally, because he was tired. He can't play that kind of 65 game, right? So clearly, we need to have somebody else who can also play that role from the center back into the midfield, as well as Stones can do. And of all the center backs that we have, apart from Stones, who can do that? Not Walker, not the Kanji, who does it well. They're not Ake, right? Not good offensively enough. The person who breaks the lines like that is Josh Gvardiol.
Yeah.
You know, Patrick, if you had to ask Pep to go in the lab and make a center back, right? You're looking at Puyol and you're looking at PK. This is a hybrid of that, in the sense that this guy can do. Man, this guy he's also a destroyer. He's not just pretty on the ball. And funny enough, I was listening. He started off as a striker, and then he became a right winger.
He says he loved scoring goals. That's what he said.
No, he was a striker. Then he became a right winger. And that's why he dribbles. People don't understand why he's good at dribbling and why he's comfortable on the ball and pushing up with the ball, which is what Stones was doing last season. So spot on. Man, as I'm saying, at the end of the day, this is what Pep has been trying to build, that whole total football philosophy of having players who are dynamic and good enough to play, be comfortable playing various positions with ease and transitioning into it. And Pep has been trying this for a very long time. And the fact that now he'll be able to deploy the strategy from the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And the good thing is it allows Ake to stay at the back. Because as much as Ake was good last season, he was out of position at times. You could see it going offensively. So Gundo's right. I don't see him as a replacement for him. No, they can actually complement each other. Because at the end of the day, because if you remember last season, Laporte couldn't do this, and Pep at times wanted to play both Laporte and Ake, and he couldn't, right? Because Laporte, as good as he is, he doesn't really want to move up and down, and Gvardiol is quick. Man, I've seen him run; he is quick. So, man, I'm happy because this is also will help our build-up play from the left-hand side. Because if you notice, teams have targets that side more.
Yeah, they do.
Ever since Laporte hasn't been playing, teams will press us and actually push us. They actually allow us to have the ball on that side because they know it will take long before it comes out. So I'm happy that we can finally build up from both sides of the pitch, which should help us in moving the ball.
Amazing, man. And Diaz has actually improved in carrying the ball too from the time when we got him. So, guys, Josko, man, has signed for City, guys. What an amazing signing. Yes, some of you tuned in thinking this is going to be Duncan Grealish stream. If I wanted, I could have done it 24-hour on Jack. Trust me, starting from his calves, his hair, and everything about him. But I don't really care. To be honest with you, the next one is exciting. Guys, there was rumors that Cole Palmer is going to Brighton, right? And there's rumors that Bernardo is going to extend contract. Carl.
Yes, sir.
I want to give you your flowers because you told a lot of people that Bernardo Silva is very important to Pep's system, and you've been preaching it for so long. You fought against a lot of people. You fought for your life on Twitter as always. People have blocked you. People have DM'd me saying your friend is trouble. They have DM'd you, threatening you that they're going to kill you. No, I'm just joking on that one. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, Kakao said that Bernardo Silva is not going anywhere because Pep Guardiola knows that if Bernardo Silva leaves, there's no any other player out there and his system will go to shit. So City have to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yep.
From things they're looking like City have refused. They have told PSG and Barcelona that there's no negotiations. And I think the City are willing to bite the bullet, say, Bernardo Silva, you've got 2 years.
Yep.
If you don't sign, then your 2 years can go. But here's a big, massive contract.
Yep.
Again, I know people are going to think we hate on Jack, but I think I predicted once saying, when I saw that Jack was the second highest paid player, I was like, there's going to be drama in that City dressing room. Because there's people like, recently John Stones' money has gone up. It's close to Jack. I just told Carl privately, I was like, I didn't know Jack is on 3K. How can they bring him on 3K and other people who are like Gundogan and them be on 150 and this? I was like, something's going to go wrong. And immediately when Jack sprinkled himself, exactly, that's when Bernardo's voice was higher. And Carl kept on telling me, this is about money, Patrick. Silva is looking at Raheem being one of the best players in the club and saying, I'm better than Raheem. Looking at Jack, I'm better than Jack. Looking at De Bruyne saying, I know De Bruyne is the man, but I'm close to De Bruyne and I'm important to this system. So I thought it was never about money. I thought it was that weather thing. While Carl told me that this weather thing is stupid. If you give somebody money, they'll forget the weather.
Yeah, you forget.
So I don't.
See, it's, people who talk about weather don't know. They just don't know what they're talking about. And just be clear, just don't know what you're talking about. Okay, don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, this guy was earning 120, 130,000 pounds a week. Bernardo Silva, okay, who has been with us since 2017-18 season, I believe, right? Who's given us performances year after year. 120K a week. Jack Grealish comes in at 300K a week. Okay, now, if you're his agent,
Raheem at 275.
says more.
So. Raheem at 275.
right? Yes. If you're
Phillips, Kevin Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips earns more. Okay? Yes. Calvin Phillips earns more. If you're his agent or his mother or his wife, and you know your husband is getting half of the wages that Calvin Phillips is getting and playing 10 times more games than Calvin Phillips is getting, what are you going to say? You're going to rustle the coop to make sure that down the line, you get what you deserve, right? And oh, by the way, with all this noise that he makes in the media with his agent, right? He gets on the field and he delivers many, many, many times. His numbers and running, his stats and closing down. Pep even said he can play 3 different positions. He's the only person in the city that can press 3 different players at the same time. In yesterday's game, you saw him running while others were chilling. A full press versus everybody else. I don't want to give a name right now, who was doing a half press. So when I talk about Bernardo ain't going anywhere, it's not because I know something. It's because in the boardroom, right, I think like an executive. Why would I want to sell Bernardo Silva when, number one, there's nobody who can replace him? Number two, he has a 2-year contract. And I know his motivation is to go to Benfica when he's done with his contract. I've always said, give Bernardo Silva an offer he cannot refuse. Make him an offer he can't refuse. Oh, and by the way, if he refuses that offer, okay, tell Bernardo, okay, guy, you're going to be here, guy. And if in 2 years' time you want to leave on a free contract to Benfica, let's make the deal happen. Guess why? Because you've deserved it. You've done 11 years or 10 years. You deserve a testimonial. You deserve to be a legend. You are part of the team that made us win the UCL final. You gave the assist to Rodri to get that goal. Let's be clear. You locked down Bayern Munich's right-hand side or left-hand side.
And you dunked on, what's his name? What's that Madrid player, which he dunked on, and Bayern players, the wingers.
Destroyed Madrid and Camavinga on that side that he had. You did that alone. You got the first goal. So he can moan all he wants. But until you give him the money that he deserves, the double salary reserve, you have nothing to say to Bernardo Silva. Period. Nothing. There's nothing to say. He is a key to the cog of the Guardiola system. He can play 3 or 4 different players. Yesterday's game, he played a 7 and a 6 and an 8. Bernardo Silva. How won't he be tired? Oh, he didn't play well yesterday, and Alvarez didn't play well yesterday, and no, he played 3 positions yesterday. Played the 90 minutes. And people are complaining. No. Pay him what he deserves. And for the club are saying, yes, Barcelona, PSG, you can F off because you can't afford him. And we're not selling to you PSG because it's more important to us. He ain't going anywhere. Now, if you want to bring 200 million, 250, absolutely bring him because Bernardo Silva is worth more than Declan Rice. He's a champion.
You know, Gundo. Funny enough, after watching yesterday's match, I realized that Partey is actually Arsenal's best midfielder. Rice is just a centre back in midfield, and if Rice goes for 105 British pounds, then basically Bernardo is priced out of this market. That's all I can say. After watching yesterday, if that's what you pay 105 million for, then trust me, I see why we can't sell Bernardo.
Can't sell him.
Literally.
Can't sell him. I mean, the club would rather lose this guy on a free transfer than entertain a stupid offer from Barcelona or PSG. 14 million, 50 million pounds for Bernardo Silva with 2 years left on his contract. When Rice went for 105 with 1 year left on his contract. Are we serious? But no. City fans out there would rather believe the ITKs who are local to Manchester because somehow they know things that we don't know. Use your brains, guys. Put yourself in the boardroom. Think like an owner. If you own the club, how would you behave and how would you think? How would you behave? Would you be willing to sell Bernardo Silva to any club if they don't bring the right offer, given where you are with Gundogan leaving. Think like an owner. Think like an executive.
Yeah, where are you gonna get a replacement? Like, there's not a lot of players
And,
out there. That's
and,
the
and, and,
difficulty.
you know, and to Gundo's point, the thing is, your thinking has to be in this way. Whatever amount of money that we sell him, will it be enough to replace him? That's
No, it
the
won't.
logic you have to use. And if the answer is
It won't.
no,
That's
then
so
it
easy.
means you can't sell him.
Yeah, even what's his name? Pep said that Kyle Walker and Bernardo Silva to replace them is 60 million plus or more, and you have to add 15 million on top. Because okay, so on that topic, what about Cole Palmer, Veta? Cole Palmer also, Brighton are looking at him on the few Premier League clubs. Are we keeping Cole Palmer? Because to be honest with you, I have rated Palmer, and I thought his time was up. Obviously, he got injured, and Pep says his agent and Palmer said he hasn't had game time, and Pep says we want him to stay. But if his agent and Palmer decide for him to go elsewhere for more game time, there's nothing we can do. I'll go from Veta, then I'll go back to Don't Smoke. Looking at our squad, where we know Oscar Bob maybe might not make it, even though he's also a talent. Maybe Marketing might not make it, but there's also rumors that Marketing might stay. Do we need to keep a Cole Palmer and try give him maybe a game when things are failing? There's a tight game. Give Cole Palmer, because as I've said, Cole Palmer seems to be no nonsense. He reminds me of Riyad Mahrez. When things are not well, get the ball and score. That's what it is. Beat your man and score. What do you think, Veta? Do we say Cole Palmer has to go on loan, or he deserves to go and play first team football at Brighton? Brighton want Cole Palmer, and in few, Brighton will go charge 150 in the future for Cole Palmer if he bans it.
Yeah, the fan in me would like him to stay, but if I'm his agent, if I'm thinking of his progression as a player, if he's gonna struggle to get game time, then he might have to go on loan just to build that up. He's an excellent talent. He is direct, and and you need to have that little bit of arrogance where, you know what? Yeah, I see all the star-studded players that are on my team. I'm taking the shot anyways. You want a player like that, and that's why selfishly I would like him to stay, because I think he can do very well. I just don't know if he would get enough playing time to get the development that would really suit him if he were to go on loan. Unfortunately, he's a talent, but he's not like a Foden, right? Like, there's a reason why Pep went out of his way to say, you know what, Sancho, you can go. Jadon Sancho, you can go. Foden, you're staying here. I need to keep you under my wing. I don't know if Cole Palmer is like that for Pep right now. And if he's not, I think it's probably best for him to go, especially to what we were just talking about early in the show. If we're going to look to get players to play on that wing side, and if it looks like this Community Shield game where he started with Bernardo Silva, not many players are going to displace Bernardo. You know what I mean? So for him to get that time, he may have to go, man.
Patrick.
Go ahead, Don't Smoke.
I think things change. It's all about context, right? If you ask me beginning of the season when Riyad was still here, right? And I think the decision was made. It was made. I don't think they thought Riyad would leave, right, this season, right, or this part of the season. Because now at the end of the day, to win the league, you need a strong bench and you need impact players off the bench. Last season, we were strong because you had the possibility of bringing an Alvarez in, right? If, for example, the opponents set up in a certain kind of way, and you need both kind of styles for tactic-wise, right? And I believe that there is, as long as things remain the same, hence it's to do with what happens in the window. If things remain the same, then we need a Palmer for games like yesterday, whereby you have Bernardo and Grealish, and none of them are willing to take the onus on themselves. Whereby the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't expect Bernardo to do that. That's not his job, right? As much as he can play there, but it is not his role to create. Which hence, so in situations like, because at the end of the day, think about it. In Aston Villa, we're losing 2-0. Who comes off the bench? Sterling, Zinchenko, and whatnot. And I'm saying you need those kind of options off your bench. So Yes, as much as we and hence it goes back to Gundo's point of view. You have to make decisions as an owner and not as a fan, and be like, okay, because you must remember at the end of the day, we're fighting to retain the trophies that we won. So we have to be ruthless with some decisions which may not be favorable to everyone short term, but we're looking at the big picture. That at the end of the day, the season is long. There might be injuries, right? Last season we were lucky because normally we have injuries and so we need all our options. We need options open. So if Mahrez stayed and I was gonna advise him, okay, it's fine. Mahrez will want important minutes here and there. So, but with Mahrez gone, there's an opportunity. I feel like there's an opening, and it's up to him.
And he looked like buffer now. He wasn't very slender. He looked like he's
Patrick. The truth is that if you think about which player in our squad is most like Riyad Mahrez in the way he plays with the ball, it's Cole. Now, I was one of those who said maybe Cole needs to go on loan, right? But in a player's development, there's always a moment in their development where they do something so unique and so special that it tells you that all he needs is rhythm and more game time and more confidence from his teammate, and he will ball. We all know this sport is about your confidence and what you believe and how you believe, how you think. And he's a young kid. Maybe he needs more of that. That goal yesterday was a goal crafted out of nothing, a moment of brilliance. And I'm saying that maybe that's the moment that Pep says, you know what? Yeah, maybe this guy needs to stick around because we need those kinds of things. Maybe he gets more games and more confidence in order to stay. So I'm reconsidering my thought around Palmer staying because of those kinds of moments. You know.
Okay, so we move on to Abdullah. Abdullah, so Abdullah, you warned you. I remember you came on my stream and warned people when they were laughing at Haaland after the Community Shield. So, Abdullah, it looks like the clowns from Arsenal did not watch Liverpool's game last season in the Community Shield when they were laughing at Haaland. So they're laughing at him again. He had to put his 3 fingers up when they were booing him and laughing. So there's big accounts, YouTube accounts saying he got pocketed by Saliba. So, Abdullah, are you going to give them advice again? These people never learn.
But the problem is, because I watched the Community Shield yesterday and I laughed. I was like, I saw this happen with Liverpool. So I'm not surprised when this stuff happens. It's the Community Shield. And Arsenal are fond of doing this. And I said it to Arsenal fans. Your season of winning the Premier League was last season. This season is going to be tough. Newcastle has spent. United has spent. Chelsea has spent. Man City is going to spend money, whether we like it or not. Teams above Arsenal are spending money. And you want to go toe-to-toe with Klopp, Guardiola, Pochettino. It's going to be difficult for Arsenal to even come to. And I said it to Arsenal fans, the detriment of their team is not going to be the player, the manager. He is the manager. So then when they go and celebrate, I was like, okay, no problem. You can have your take. No worries about it. Man City yesterday already knew. It's Arsenal. We're not going to take this bullshit serious. We're going to be fine. They know when the league starts, that's where the business ends starts. It's all about...
Let me ask you something as a Chelsea fan. Sorry for cutting you. Let me ask you something as a Chelsea fan. Mm-hmm. Because even my own uncle, like this is how bad it is. Even my own uncle is an Arsenal fan, told me something delusional. So I was like, is it just the whole fan base? Is there something at Arsenal that feed them? Regardless that when it comes to their team, some of them are. Look, I know a few Arsenal fans, my friends on Twitter, like Miss Melina. I've never seen Miss Melina say anything deluded. She's always straightforward. I've never seen a few of them. I've got a friend. He doesn't even speak deludedness. But apart from a few of them, majority, some I know, it's just the same delusion. They think that they're best in the world. Now they're saying they're going to win the Champions League, they're going to win the treble. Like, do you think they do it purposely or they actually believe in this delusion? Because AFTV is now saying City fans don't deserve their team and their manager. But this is the same AFTV that slandered Wenger and that team, told that team players to leave. They are saying, I don't get it, man. Okay, just answer me.
The problem, I've already said, Mr. Khalid, I said it as Arsenal fans. I'm laughing. Because this is not the first time Arsenal did this bullshit. They will never learn. And they will keep failing. Arsenal fans will never learn. They will never learn. And Arsenal keep telling me they're the best team in London. And I ask them, give me a UCL. No comment. Arsenal fans have a go at Chelsea fans and say, we won this Club World Cup and the Super Cup. It's a plastic trophy. it doesn't count. I'm like, for you to get to win a Super Club and a Club World Cup, you gotta win the UCL.
You have to win a UCL. That's
Give
how
me
it
a
is.
UCL title. They can't even comment. And I'm asking myself, okay, no problem. They are
So what? Answer me. What gives them this courage, thinking they are at the table? Because look at the end of the day. Let me just finish. The only reason why City was being put at that table because City was so much of a threat with these Centurions and everything. But Arsenal tell us that they are loyalty in football.
The problem with Arsenal is it started from their legend. They never learned Ian Wright, PS Morgan, whatever bullshit they're doing. They never learn. And when you don't accept failure and you are not ready to admit that you failed, you can always move forward. You can never.
Well, that way mediocre. That way a mediocre club. Yeah.
You can never be successful. That's Arsenal Football Club. I'm not so. There's the regional club. They are comparing to the same to City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. I'm asking myself, how on earth are you comparing yourself to a caliber club who has won so many trophies? I'm confused. And we want to get Mbappe, want to get Neymar. I'm like, hold on a minute.
Let me tell you what's going on. It's you see, when your brain has been conditioned by failure for so many years, whenever you see a straw in an ocean, you grab onto it and you make it a big tree. That's what's going on. Any small thing that they can grab onto to show some relevance, right? They will do. It's like a drowning man who sees a straw in the ocean. He'll grab onto it because he thinks that somehow that is going to be what saves him. It's like a guy in the desert with a mirage. You think there's water there until you get there and you realize that, oh my gosh, this is just a mirage. And it's not true. Think about this one moment. The team that was supposed to win the Premier League last year, who had the best ever start to a Premier League campaign, ends up winning nothing. Nothing. Not the FA Cup, not the Carabao Cup, not the Premier League, not even what was the last one? There's one more. Europa League. You're going to come again this season with United having spent money, with Liverpool having spent money, with City spending money, with Chelsea spending money. You think you're going to step up and somehow beat all those teams and win the Premier League. When last season, with City's arguably one of the worst ever points total, second worst under Guardiola, you didn't win it. And you allow these guys to not just win the Premier League, but have the momentum to go win the Champions League. I don't see, if I'm them, I'm saying, guys, relax. Let's see how things go. Take one game at a time. Let's see how we improve and build and do what we need to do. But no.
Ramsdale says, do you know what Ramsdale said? Abdullah, do you know what Ramsdale said? Do you know what Ramsdale said? This is how foolish it is. And Arsenal fans, I don't hate on you. I just look at you that maybe stop this delusion and excitement. Do you know what Ramsdale said, Abdullah? Beating City in this community shield has shifted our mentality. It shows that we're capable of going toe-to-toe with this team and beating them.
Great show.
So, yeah. Okay, sorry, Vita. Okay, big up Vita, guys. Go subscribe to Vita's channel. Big up to you, Vita. He says there's a psychological shift. What shift, my brother? What?
This is the problem with Arsenal fans. It started with me and Liverpool. From Mr. Gal know this. I have an issue with me and Liverpool. We fought it for like 5 years. Me and Liverpool. Now it's me and Arsenal fans, and I keep telling them, Arsenal sold us Olivier Giroud. He won us the UCL. Arsenal sold out Ashley Cole. We won the Premier League and the Champions League with Ashley Cole. So Arsenal sold us players where we won trophies with them. Can Arsenal fans open their mouth and tell me what have they won in terms of European trophy?
Nothing.
I'm still waiting. Giroud was not good enough. They sold it to Chelsea. You won the UCL with us. So Arsenal fans need to understand this. I can understand. Yes, Arteta has been given so many stuff in terms of the commemorate together in terms of fan, manager, and everything.
And fixing the mediocre team.
Calm down. See, for you to be open about and say you can trash Man City and no. That's arrogant. It does not make any sense at all. And I keep telling people, this season will expose Arteta. See, yesterday I was on match and I'm laughing at if a Newcastle team play that's not team, they're gonna get beaten. Declan Rice is gonna get massively exposed. Lord have mercy with that guy. he will get exposed because you are playing a City team who doesn't even put their mind in playing competition.
And that's not even the complete City team that's going to be playing. And at the end of the day, they have to remember that they brought out everything. They brought out their firepower and everything. And Pep was just testing people, just throwing people, testing formations. But thing is, look, congratulations for winning, but sometimes you have to shush. Don't get like, you know what? Arsenal fans, how stupid can you be? City lost to Chelsea in the Community Shield, lost to Liverpool, has lost to Liverpool 3 times. We've lost. Liverpool beat us. Chelsea beat us.
Leicester.
Man United, Leicester beat us. Guess what? We went and did 3 in a row. Guys, Community Shield doesn't matter. City beat Liverpool in the Community Shield, and Liverpool lifted the trophy in 2019 or 2018.
Exactly.
Guys, you have to learn to behave. I get it, it's banter, but some of you take your banter. The thing about Arsenal fans is there is banter, but you guys, I think the banter, you take it seriously. Somebody said Kai Havertz no receipts. You'll be asking for receipts soon. Like Kai Havertz, you'll be asking Abdullah for receipts soon.
Problem is, Arsenal will never learn because they're the legend. I said yesterday, you're gonna get. See, I'm so happy the Chelsea board. See, I've been praying for this moment to happen in my entire life, and it's happened. Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. Oh my God in heaven! I have been. Mr. Kali is here. You come to my channel. I have been screaming, shouting, cursing for Kai Havertz and Mason Mount to leave the club, and eventually they left. I'm happy because I do not want to deal with their fan base, and I already told them the fan base can follow him to London in Arsenal, follow him to Manchester in Manchester. I don't care anymore. They're out of the club. So I'm like, Arteta, you can have Kai. Ten Hag, you can have Mason. I don't care anymore. What I care is how can the team go forward. That's what I care about. And I'm telling Arsenal fans, you've been relevant because of one thing, Mikel Arteta. And the way he's been coming, he's been doing a lot, but pipe down. Pipe down because there's levels to this game. There is levels to this game. And I tell Arsenal fans, we don't have a UCL, we don't have a Europa League. So I already know my expectation in Chelsea. You're gonna finish in top 2 or top 3. That's me because no Champions, no Europa League. No Champions, no Europa. I expect us to finish higher. So if you don't finish higher, I'm gonna question Poch and the board because now no Europa League. We're not gonna play Europa League tournament. Arsenal is gonna be playing Europa League. I want to see how they're gonna perform because they've not been there before. So I won't be crazy to say if I finish, I'm gonna finish above us now. I'm not gonna be mad saying that because I see the team, I see the way Chelsea is, and I see the way Arsenal is. We don't need to start doing some warm up and everything. We can rest for like a week, 2 weeks without even doing anything. We're still gonna
that's the difference that people are missing. But this Haaland slander, let me just tell you, Arsenal fans, keep your jokes, continue your Saliba jokes. Carl already gave you an answer that Saliba held 3. And he was on the pitch on the 15th of February. So hold that. Let me just read this. It says Neymar in talks with CFC. God forbid HH will be unbearable. Yeah, I hear that Neymar has Carl and Don't Smoke. Neymar has told PSG that he wants to leave. He's officially told them.
Chelsea want Neymar for crying out loud? What do you want to do with him?
Because Chelsea are looking for a winger. That's why they are looking for. I think Chelsea take the opportunity.
Mr. Patrick,
you don't need Neymar.
You see the problem. Both Neymar and Mbappe, I'm fed up with each other with Bol himself. I know he wants to get a superstar in his sign. I know for a fact. But pipe down on these 2 players. We got enough players to help us this season. I'm not spending a ridiculous money on Neymar and Kylian Mbappe.
What's Neymar's contract right now?
He's on close to $1 million.
Oh, how many years is left on his contract?
2027.
Oh, Jesus, I wouldn't go close to him. Okay, moving on that. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. It looks like our captain is Kyle Walker. What's your comment on that before we close? Don't smoke. Is he with us? Okay, Kyle.
I think it's De Bruyne now. I think it's Kyle Walker because when De Bruyne came on, Walker gave him the armband.
Yeah, I think
did he?
Yeah.
I thought it was Kyle Walker because they also had that dinner with Pep.
What I was saying was that you know how these aggregators like to put stories out and insinuate that Walker is leaving. I said, what if he's talking to him about being a captain? How do you know what he's talking about? The fact that I go to dinner with Abdullah does not mean I'm marrying his sister.
Exactly.
Behave.
I could be, I'm going to propose, Abdullah, I want to marry your sister or whatever. It could be a dinner, it could be a business dinner, it could be the fact that Abdullah is in town, let me have dinner with him, that's how it works.
Exactly.
But they want to create this narrative because they want the clicks. They want the clicks. They want the clicks so you can click on it and get it all excited and create stories. Meanwhile, 90% of the stuff they create is absolute nonsense.
So it's gonna.
Nonsense.
Who holds these big channels and accounts accountable in the lie?
All I'm saying, and many of these big accounts, some of them have DM me. They DM me saying, "Oh, what am I saying?" I'm like, look, guys, you have a responsibility. If you're going to have 50,000 subscribers on City fans who look to you for guidance and facts, you have a responsibility to tell the truth, right? And where you don't say you don't know. People rather believe. Look at Fabrizio. The hate that guy got because of Guardiola. Remember that whole hate?
Mm-hmm.
And even you, Patrick, when you came out and said he's coming. But look at where we are right now. He has signed. That deal has been done a long time ago.
See, even the same thing with Enzo Fernandez. It was almost
a long time ago.
It was like people with
Fabrizio, same thing as well.
Even with this Caicedo deal, also with this Caicedo deal, Fabrizio has been saying this since May. He will go to Chelsea. It's just about finding the right structures and agreement. People started customer. Fabrizio said, "I will not tell you something I don't know. If I have to lie to you, I won't even pull it out." But they keep telling
people attack Fab, isn't it? But they don't attack some of these idiots who tweet transfers. It's done. We won't mention your names because we know that some of you are very bitter. But anyway, so just back on transfers. So Don't Smoke is not with us. I'll just go to Adam because Adam just joined. Adam, so what do you want to see this transfer window? Because Pep hinted that before we close, Pep hinted that there will be more players coming. Okay, Carl, what do you want to see this? Okay, Adam.
There's only one player.
Can you hear me, Patrick?
Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. You know, I just want like what me, you, and Carl have been saying in the WhatsApp. Yeah, we want a winger, and the winger that we would like is Matoma, and I just hope that City do whatever it takes to get him.
Adam, you can't get Matoma. Brighton will get this 150. Are you going to pay that for Brighton?
And
it's a successful gambler. You want to face a gambler?
Abdullah, and that's what I said to Patrick. My problem with Brighton is that they can. I want him, but the problem is, I said it to Patrick. Yeah, the problem is Brighton are going to ask an arm and a leg. If that's the case,
Adam, I did some research on this issue. Matoma has 2 years left on his contract. 2 years, which means
he's 25 years old,
right? He's going to have 1 year left on his contract. If you go in with 100 million right now, you get him. Period.
No, look, Carl, look. If it's 100 million, I will be happy to pay that. If we paid
I am paying 100 for Mitoma. I am paying 100 for Mitoma. We paid 100 for.
Look, that's what I'm saying, Patrick. Look, we paid 100 million for Grealish. That, generally speaking, that does not provide any creativity.
Why?
That thing, what do you mean?
Abdullah, don't start us. Abdullah, don't start us with the number.
That thing paid me. It paid me a lot.
People have already started unsubscribing, Abdullah. I'm seeing we were on 1,000 or 2,200. It's dropping because the Greek fans are unsubscribing.
So, Patrick, what will happen? Listen, I know this is a hard discussion, but let me tell you what. People will unsubscribe, but when the truth comes out and things begin to change, people will come back. It will.
No. Look. If somebody doesn't like what's said here, I've told people I'm unsubscribe because this channel, I just wake up. We discuss topics on the WhatsApp group, and we say we're going to talk about the topics. If people don't want to hear the truth, I want to be blind.
Annoying part about it is it's even annoying. Mason Mount, an iconic number 7. I'm like, are you mad? Excuse me.
Do you know what? This is. Thank you for saying that.
Beckham, Ronaldo.
Yeah. Yes, our number 10 was Aguero. I rest my case. We're just giving these jerseys. Just our number 4 was Company. We just gave it.
I don't know where football is going to right now.
The person who deserves the number 10 is Philip Walter Foden.
Thank you.
Let's be clear. I know he says he doesn't want, he wants 47, but let's be clear. The person who deserves the
number 7. Do you know who deserved the number 7 at United? Garnacho, who could have taken that.
100%.
Not Mason Mount.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's continue with this habit. And you know what? Abdullah said it. Same thing as Mason Mount. Mason Mount has got moments of brilliance. He had moments, but he was the untouchableness was as if he's Neymar or he's Messi or Ronaldinho, one of these up class. I don't want to say anything. I just say sometimes, guys, don't be blinded just because you're scared that certain people are going
You know
to
what it
attack
is?
you or you're not going to look good. But come on, tell me. So you want a winger? What about Olise?
You know what it
Are
is?
you not a
Like
fan of
what
Olise yourself? You are a fan.
Patrick, you know what it is? Like what Carl has always said. The English media will hype up a guy who's absolutely dog shit and make him out like he's the next coming of Jesus or what. That's the thing with the English media. A guy will be dog shit. Sorry for my language, but yet they will make him like as if he's the second coming of Jesus or Moses. That's the problem with English media. They will hype up players that are absolute dog shit and are not even up there. Genuinely speaking, it doesn't make sense.
Adam, welcome to the territory of English football. I have suffered a lot with Mason Mount and Kai Havertz and Ruben Loftus-Cheek and all of them. I'm beginning to get saved now. I'm living in peace, please. The same thing has to be done to Jack Grealish too. You guys have to start protesting. Start praying to God. Grealish must be sold. That's it.
It's not that bad. It's just we just want him to improve to score. But anyway, guys, on that note, guys, Abdullahi, thank you for coming, man. Abdullahi, do you want to shout out your channel, man, so where people can find you?
The Blood Studios on YouTube. We talked about football stuff and everything. Just go to YouTube, the Blood Studio. You're gonna see me there. We talked a lot about football topic, and also this weekend. The EPL is starting this. We're going to be doing a lot of previews on Friday. United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and a lot of stuff. Even Liverpool. We're going to do a lot of preview. Make sure you guys tune into the show and let's have a big discussion about football. Welcome back to the EPL. The Premier League is back, officially back. We're happy. It's back.
Yeah, we're happy, man. It's going to be amazing. The first game is Burnley. What about yourself, Carl? Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me here on True City Fan. I'm on Pitch Points, YouTube.
It's streaming both sides right now.
Yeah, Gunnolorian on Twitter. I tell the truth. I say it as it is. Some people like it, some people don't. But it's all about opinion. I'm actually a very nice person. If you actually get to know me, I'm not that bad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. Big up to you, Daniel. Big up to you, Daniel. Big up to everybody, man. Misosia, I don't know. Okay, or Sama. Big up to you. Yeah, I know HH is Samasia. I know HH is gonna be unbearable if they get Neymar. AB, big up to you, Carl. Is it true? City is broke. They can't afford Bernardo Silva. Nah, that's a lie. City needs to sell Greece to Saudi. Please don't leave the Greece stand alone. We love him. City looked flat yesterday. Yeah. Miss Melina, big up to you, man. Respect to you. I know you went to Wembley, but some of us couldn't manage to go to Wembley. But maybe we'll see you in the next Arsenal game. Parma is generation.
Before you round up,
big up to you.
I want to say something. Mr. Calvin, Patrick, and Adam, please. We need to do trade by barter. I beg. I went to Soldiers Field to watch Chelsea match, and Lord have mercy, Mr. Cal, please. You did us a joke. Sterling should be sold back to Afghanistan.
I remember, Adam. I remember the hate I got when I talked about this guy. I remember the hate I got.
Please.
That Champions League, especially what he did in the Champions League.
What does he go to Saudi?
Carl, it gives me nightmares to just think of what Sterling did in that Champions League. It was criminal. Like, generally speaking, me thinking about it gives me nightmares. I tell you that.
I mean, he's not going to go to Saudi. The guy's a journeyman. He's a journeyman. He has no anchor. There's no core belief in what you're trying.
Missed one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
There's no anchor. Like, anchor has been, okay, I'm here. I'm loved. Yeah, I may not be the best. I'm loved. Let me anchor myself and grow and let me push through the hard spots. He takes off. He's going to end up at West Ham in 2 years' time. Follow. Just watch. West Ham.
Yeah.
He's going to end up there.
Yeah, anyway, big up to you guys, man. Big up to you guys. As I said, sometimes it's good to just have different opinions. Don't feel hurt if you are a fan of some of these players. We just see what it is and say, look, improve, score more goals, do this more. We all love our team. We all love our players. It's no slander here. Guys, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member for 99 cents so that I can afford a new camera and a new mic and a green screen. I'm not going to start lying to you that I am asking you to become a member. So please help the channel. No. I'm going to use your money to buy a camera and a mic
And I
they
also
agreed
need
to pay.
I also need my Lamborghini that Patrick
Yeah,
owns.
I also have to pay Adam, who I've owed and promised him money from the beginning. So 99 cent, become a member, guys. When the season starts, for people who are joining as members, that's when I'll be doing private videos or exclusive videos. I'll be doing good videos for you, exciting videos. Sometimes the videos will be outside. Sometimes the videos will be comedy. If you don't laugh, it's your own fault. Why did you pay for it? But anyway, guys, let's keep on supporting the channel. The channel is growing. For the 3 people who unsubscribed because they were angry, we're talking about Jack. Big up to you. I know you're still watching because I can still see here. Anyway, goodbye.
I got ready, surfboard.
Patrick, you're definitely gonna get some
Nah.
replies in the DMs on Twitter.
you know that's the funny thing is I told people when I opened this channel that it's my channel. I don't have strings. I don't have any sponsorship deals. I don't have to do clickbait. I don't have to be polite. I can just speak how it is, because some of these channels, I know they can't say certain stuff. They'll tell us in the background, by the way, another secret for YouTube. They'll tell us in the background, don't do this, don't do that. When I do this, you jump in, you cause drama. On this part, we get pissed off at each other to get more clicks. But for some of us here, we don't care. We don't care if people watch. We don't care if people click. We just speak. If you are interested in the speaking, yeah. If you want to be part of the panel, we always invite. Come in. I can give you any link. Ask Abdullah. Abdullah does the same thing. He puts his link to everybody. We all welcome people, isn't it, Abdullah? We want people to come in.
People. If you don't like us, don't subscribe.
Yeah. The thing is, some of us are football fans. We want you to
But if you do wish to come in, we do accept commissions though.
Yeah, we do. Look, some of us, I have told many people, you're more than welcome to come on this channel and tell me that, Patrick, you talk a lot of shit when you're on the panel. I have this to say to you. Your football knowledge here is not right. I will be more than happy. That's why I brought this channel, for people, the underdogs, to come in and talk. So it's not about subs. Yes, I'll ask for subs, because the more people you sub, the more people I can insult, and the more people I can argue with, and the more people I can rattle. But come on, guys. Yeah, it's an open invite. After the Burnley game, open invite. I'll put the link to the show on Twitter. You can come in and tell me how you feel about Burnley. How about that? So, guys, goodbye. Like the video and like it again. Like the video. Some of you guys, when you're watching later, you're going to like the video. When we start talking about your favorite player, you're going to like the video. Then you like the video again when it comes to transfers. Big up.